you know what we'll do then? So I'll show you my first ever burglary. The first ever burglary I did was, that our bro that taught us how to do these things. So, all right, where are we? 1 second, I just got to work out where I am. Have a Feldy up this way. Right, here we go. So in here, there should be like a garage, petrol station somewhere in here. There, that's where it looks like, right there. So when I was a young fella, there we go. So when I was a young fella, I'm not saying 100% sure, but I remember it being a picture. So you got to remember, this was 1993, right? And I'd never been back here again, so this might not be it. But there was a petrol station in this hood somewhere, and we went in there, jimmied the door open, boom, boom, emptied the smoke rack, and we only made. I remember clearly because this was the first time in my life I had made $400. There was me and my bro Tommy. And we'll call him Pete, the guy that was teaching us. We'll call him Pete because he was the gun, Pistol Pete. And my bro Tommy, we made $1,200 total, and we got $400 each. And I'll never forget this. Like I went from being a 14-year-old homeless kid to all of a sudden I got $400 cash in my pocket, feeling like the richest 14-year-old on earth. And then, okay, so we've come out of here, and we've come down this way onto the main road here. This is Matthews Road. This is a main road of Essendon, and we've come up this way, and then so we must have set the alarm off. We were in there for a good 10 minutes emptying the thing, and then the cops were coming from up Broady way. So they're coming. So the cops are coming from this way because Broady's up this way, and we thought, right, we were being clever. Well, actually, if we went this way, that was the way we thought the cops were coming from. So we've gone, my bad. So we thought the cops were going to come from this way, Mooney Ponds. So we've gone left up this way. And as we've gone up here, and this is the first burglary I've ever done, we're on a blue TX3 Laser. Another divvy van spun around on us here. And then we've come up all the way to here, come down this road, gone under this bridge and through this roundabout. And then somewhere along here, my bro pulls in a driveway. We jumped out of the car and then ran along this fence along here. And then I remember clearly watching the cop car go flying past, because you could see the gaps through the driveway. I watched the cop car just go flying straight past. And I was like, my bro. And I knew what I was saying was wrong because Pete taught us a few rules, right? One of the first rules he said when we went to go and do the earn, he said, if we get in a chase, we give the car up. Golden rule number 1 I'm going to teach you fellas is live to fight another day. Anytime we get chased, we just give the load up. We don't care if we got $1 million in the boot. We give it up and we just run and get away, because provided we live to fight another day, we can just go steal it again. No point fucking fighting over that shit in the boot. It's worthless. Our freedom is the number 1 most precious thing out of everything. So that's what you fucking look after first. But I was a first timer, and I just watched us take all this shit, it seemed like, with ease. And then as I watched that cop car go past, I was like, Pete, the cop car just went straight past. And he was like, hey, did it? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, should we go back? And he was like, I seen him I seen him in his head, remembering the rules he just said. And he goes, do you think so? And I said, yeah. And he went, okay then. So rather than doubt me, he just instantly said, you know what? I'm going to trust your call on this. Since you're making the call, I'm going to run with it, and let's just see where it... Well, our other mate, Tommy, he went this way. Me and Pete went this way. So Tommy's just fucked off. Me and Pete, we've gone back to the fence we just jumped back over the fence and jumped back in the car we just dumped in the driveway. The car was still running. We just reversed out because this cop has just taken off now. This cop's somewhere fucking, who knows? He's gone. Just keep going, chasing a ghost. And we jumped back in the car and just went straight back out the way we came. And we went straight back out there, and we went all the way back. And this is where it all starts making sense to me. So we drive from where that little M2 is, all the way over to, where are we? Sunshine, right over here. Sunshine West. We'll call him our fence. We'll call him Richard. So Richard lived in Sunshine West, and this is where Pete drove us straight away. We pull up at Richard's house at about 5 in the morning, and Richard's obviously used to this. This is standard procedure for Richard. He comes out with his notebook, calculator, ready to go. We pulled. It wasn't many smokes. Like, this was only $1,200 worth. I seen $20,000 in tobacco before. I seen $100,000 in tobacco, but I wasn't involved in that one. So, but where I'm going, we pull up into Richard's house. We start stacking all the tobacco into So you had packets of 20s back in the days, like Peter Jackson's. Pretty much everything had a 20s, but then you had your Winfields that had 25s, you had your Long Beach that had 30s and 40s, you had Holidays and Horizons that come in 30s and 50s, and I don't know if they had 40s. Nah, they didn't have 40. No, they had 4. I don't know. All fucking varieties. Pretty much every carton had 200 rolled TaylorMades, and would stack them accordingly. So it'll be like packets of 20s, packets of 25s, packets of, and then so on. And then would stack them and then pretty much get a tally of all those things, count them up, and then bang, get a number. So at the end of that tally, we got told $1,200. Boom. Old fucking Dick just pulls out $1,200 cash, gives it to fucking Pete. Me and Pete roll out with $1,200 in our pocket. And the first thing Pete goes, he goes, right. It's almost like he was testing me. He goes, right, $600 each. And I was like, hey, what about the bro? He was with us. And that's when he went, good man. Because he was almost testing me to say, yeah, $600 each, let's bang, put it in. But I was saying, nah, what about my bro? Like, he was fucking with us. Like, we got to cut him in. And he was like, that was more or less what he was saying, is like, you're right, my bro. He came with us. He risked all the same risk as us. It would be ungentlemanly to take his car, so, little bit of, moral quandary, because us criminals, bound by this code of, honor amongst thieves, like our bro come and work, put in the same risked his freedom like us, and we're going to take his cut and act like, we didn't get paid. But nah, long story short, the bro got paid, we all got fucking paid. And then